What's going on, guys, and welcome back to the semifinals of the Summer Classic 2020 between me and Ragnar. The score is 2-1 for Ragnar. We have both won games in which we pick first, and it is my turn to pick first, so perhaps a small advantage here as I look to survive and take it to a Game 5, a final decider match. So, I chose to go with Armenia, a very strong faction. You got the Cataphracts. But Ragnar went for an interesting pick, something that's not usually described as an even matchup for Armenia. He went with Carthage, so maybe he has something special up his sleeve. I decided to obviously stick with Armenia. They're probably favored as the stronger faction. No point to go to Carthage there, so let's see how it goes. Let's get into it. Alright. Let's look at the armies here. So, I've gone for a slightly unusual Armenia army. Not going for full Cataphracts or for 3 Cataphracts, 2 Cappadocians, which I argue is probably the strongest usually for Armenia. Allows you to get some Cartly Axemen in there and strengthen your melee line. I've actually gone for 4 Cataphracts, 3 Eastern Cataphracts, and a Royal Cataphract Gen. Just because Cataphracts against Carthage seem to be very, very powerful. I mean, there's not a whole lot Carthage can do against them. They don't have the 41 damage Peltists. Their Numidian Cav is easily offset by Horse Skirmishers or Horse Archers, so they're a very, very strong unit, of course. So I've gone for 4 Cataphracts. So 4 Cataphracts, 1 Cappadocian, anchoring that melee line. A very good melee cav, again, stronger than any melee cav for Carthage. And they can sit back, defend the Slingers, and sort of be a reserve cavalry unit that can just enter the battle at the right time and sort of stay in combat for longer than those Cataphracts who don't really want to be in the melee for too long. So very strong cavalry force, as you'd expect for Armenia. For the Horse Archer type of cav, I've got 2 Horse Skirmishers and a 3rd over here, so no Horse Archers here. Didn't really think they'd be that useful against Carthage when the Numidian cav can easily isolate them. These Horse Skirmishers can do more damage to the Numidians, and again, I don't really care about killing his infantry with Horse Archers. That wouldn't really be a very good use of my time, because I have Cataphracts to kill the infantry. I really need to kill these Numidians so that they can't kill my Cataphracts, basically. And I'm doing a good job already. Ragnar chasing pretty heavily here against the Horse Archers, but it's going to take a lot, or the Horse Skirmishers, sorry, but he is going to take a lot of damage for that. Immediately down to, let's see, 48 here, 49 here, and he finally decides to dip, but 47 and 49 is a lot of losses here. Didn't take too many losses myself. Over here, this unit is down to 38 as well. Maybe he thought that these guys were Horse Archers and not Horse Skirmishers, in which case it would be good to chase that close, but not in this case. So, taking some early damage, that's going to really be good for me because it'll allow me to be very, very aggressive with my Horse Skirmishers, and it will make his Numidians quite passive. Going over the rest of my army here, 4 Slingers up front, very nice to counter the Balearics or Cretans that Carthage can bring. 4 cheap Slingers, pretty much going to be able to tie or win the missile war against 3 elite Slingers, so that's very nice. My melee line is very tailored as an anti-Carthage one. I've got 3 Cartly Axemen here, 1, 2, and 3, and 3 Hillmen. And that's basically to counter the very expected melee line for Carthage of 3 Samnites and 3 Gallic Warriors. Cartly Axemen can do very good against the Samnites because of the axes against the high armor of the Samnites. And of course the Hillmen are going to be shit against the Gallic Warriors, but you don't really have anything better. I've also got 1 Persian Hoplite here as a sort of jack of all trades, can be helpful against, as a supporting role, basically hold the line and allow the Cataphracts a bit more time to do their work. Also 1 Eastern Spearman, because I had the money left over. Not much to say about that unit, is complete fodder. I guess that's my army, so let's go over Ragnar's army here. He's got up front 2 Libyan Hoplites, very nice to prevent these, weak Gallic warriors from getting charged head-on by the Cataphracts, of course. So these guys can eat the charge, very nice. 3 Samnites and 3 Gallic warriors are his main line, very expected. But what's not expected is his 2 Noble Horse and 2 Carthaginian Cav Force. Very, very strange. Gotta use these Noble Cav well, but I'm sure he had a plan with them, so we'll see how that goes. And in support of these 2 Carthaginian Cav are 2 Carthaginian Hoplites. 20 bonus versus large. These guys will be decent against the Cataphracts, and that seemed to be his plan going in this battle, is to use these Carthaginian Cav in conjunction with the Hoplites to tie down Cataphracts and kill them in extended melee, which of course the Carthaginian Cav and the Hoplites will be very good at. Tying down this Libyan Hoplite with my Eastern Spear. My Cataphract, though, is going to get a nice charge directly into the Samnite. His cav is very far back, so I feel very comfortable going for this charge. I will eat a Javelin volley, but there's not much I can do about that. Here come the Javelins. Not really killing too many, only one casualty, and this will allow my Cartly on both flanks to do very, very well when they get when the Sandknights get that charge on them, and the Cartly Axemen follow up. It's very devastating. Here, my Numidians, sorry, my Horse Skirmisher is doing very well against the Numidians, killing off one unit pretty much, and the other one is at 45, but it will start to lose men fast as well. Over here, I actually killed off a Numidian here in melee, I believe. With this Horse Skirmisher, it's got a chevron, and it's going to come around the flank. Balearics, you can see, doing very poorly against the Slingers. One does rout, but it still has 40 men, so it'll come back. And this Balearic Slinger down to 63, and this one at 54. This one was getting focused by 2 Balearics, so of course it'll lose a lot of men. My Gen gets another charge in the center here. You can see this Samnite already down to 90 men, so really big losses here. 100 against 116 here, and 80 against 113. So look at how well these Cartly Axemen are doing now that the Cataphract got a nice charge. And I immediately go to flank here. Of course, he needs to commit his infantry to win this fight, so now I'll have an open flank to maybe do some work. He charges in this Carthaginian Hoplite, which is nice because it's going to allow his Sandknight to recycle. And I have not much cav here. I kind of flanked too much, maybe. So his Carthaginian cav are going to try to go into this gap, but I just retreat my Slinger. And actually, my Hillman's going to get a very nice javelin volley here. And this cav is going to get a nice rear, well, not rear charge, but side charge on all of these guys. This Balearic gets taken out. Over here, his general actually gets into my slingers. I didn't really realize that for a while, though, because the flag was over here. So this slinger is going to start to get killed pretty badly. This Cataphract goes for a bit of a risky charge, because look how many units are instantly in support. Samnite, Carthaginian Cav, and Noble Cav charged it head-on. So this Cataphract's going to take very big losses. This Balearics are focusing it. His general gets a nice charge on the rear of these Hillmen before bailing, and my general can't really do much to support. Here, my Cataphract gets a nice charge, but again, look at these Carthaginian hoplites, very, very close proximity. Noble Cav, very close proximity. So it's probably a mistake on my part to go around the flank so aggressively. Sure, I got a free charge here and here, that's good, but then just bail. Dip the fuck out of there and allow these Carthaginian hoplites to be useless while his Cav has to chase my Cav around instead of giving him fights where all of his support is. And my general gets a nice charge in here, but I don't want him to get trapped like this unit is getting trapped. And look how quickly it's dying, not getting a whole lot of kills either. It actually just routes basically with under 60 kills, so not really good. My general's got to get out of there, so he's going to run back through this gap. And again, Carthaginian Hoplite can be doing a lot of damage to this Cataphract, so I'm forced to just charge in my Cappadocian. Again, these guys will hold out a little bit longer in melee and just retreat this Cataphract because it is going to die otherwise. General retreating safely here. Didn't really get that much done. Has 30 kills though. This Cataphract is at 60 men though, and my Horse Skirmishers are pretty much untouched, and they've killed all the Numidians, so they're going to go after these Balearics and do some nice damage, tying them down, preventing them from firing. This Noble Cav is behind my lines though, and it could go to kill some Slingers off, so my General's going to chase it around here. Ragnar very smartly doesn't charge in there, so my his Noble Cav is going to actually get in here and kill a couple of Slingers. Carthaginian Cav going to get a rear charge on these Cartly Axemen, but the thing is, these Cartly Axemen are winning against these Samnites who are almost dead, so the Cartly Axemen aren't going to rout from a Carthaginian Cav rear charge. Over here, these Gallic Warriors actually charged in and are doing very nicely against the Cartly Axemen. Again, Gallic Warriors don't have a lot of armor, so the Cartly Axemen won't be too cost-effective against them. Over here, Cartly Axemen winning, but the Gallic Warriors, of course, killed the Hillmen very easily. Finally getting into this Noble Cav with another Cataphract, and it will just kill them off. But again, his Carthaginian hoplites are in close support, and he has a noble, another Cav here, Carthaginian Cav, to just tie these Cataphracts down. That's all you need to do against Cataphracts, is tie them down. Nice Slinger fire into this very boxed up Gallic Warrior, but I'll get a Trample charge with my Gen. To finish this unit off, get a second charge here. Nice to use Trample when you know you can get a lot of different charges. These Horse Skirmishers, I thought they still had ammo, but they didn't, so they charged in melee there, not needed. This Cataphract is pulling out now. As this Noble Cav gets recharged here by the General here. Gallic Warriors finished off here with some Slinger Fire. And I have a healthy Cataphract here at 30 men, a Cappadocian at 52 men. This Gallic Warrior is isolated. Gallic Warrior is very good targets for Cav charges, so I'm just going to tie it down with the Cappadocian, rear charge it with the Cataphract. Should be nice. It does go to tired mode right as it charges though, so that's not great. Both these Cataphracts get out pretty safely, 41 men, and the General is at 38, so no problems there really. Hillman just tying down this last living hoplite, killing it off. Ragnar smartly running away from my Cataphract here, and secondarily charging with his other Noble Cav. Don't want to engage here though, because again, a lot of close support and not so much support, so I'll run away now. My Slingers, 4 of them still alive, only 1 Balearic alive for Ragnar, so my Slinger advantage is very nice, and I can just go to late game and kite. and that's exactly what I'll try to do. Finally killing this Gallic Warrior off. It didn't route to those Slingers. It'll route to my Cav, though. Horse Skirmisher is still alive, and these guys, I should just rest and let them be a threat against this Balearic. Basically, they could just sacrifice themselves to kill this Balearic, that would be fine. This Carly Axeman, tired and about to be killed off by these guys. It could get a nice Javelin Volley. It actually had a Javelin Volley, and they didn't throw it. I was going to throw it and then immediately turn, but instead it gets recharged, and that guy is just dead. Cappadocian going to charge into this Gallic Warrior, do a lot of damage. Noble Cav coming in here, but again, Cappadocians are very tanky Cav units, so they can accept that charge and let my Slingers get some fire. I'm just out of range, though, pretty much, so my Slingers won't get too many kills. But we can see a couple of his men were caught in, and about 3-4 casualties, not too bad. His infantry, of course, is going to win, but the question is, how much do I have left on my end of things? And the answer is quite a few cataphracts, basically 30 cataphracts here, 50 Cappadocians, a small cataphract unit over here, and my general at 35 men. I can second win some of these tired cataphracts, that would be very nice. And of course these guys just surrounding, getting that surround on. He just has some infantry units. If I can just clean up these isolated ones, then I can go after his main body here. And again, these guys are going to be, start to get tired here. Tired, Samnites, very tired. Fresh. These guys are a bit better on fatigue, but again, they have to chase, so it's not going to be fun. They're going to get tired, and my cataphracts most likely will have no problems finishing this off unless they get tied down and killed by the Cav and the Balearics. Now I'm just spreading out my Slingers so that they can fight against the Balearic. You can see he's trying to shoot at my cataphracts whenever he gets a chance. Very good target selection there. This Gallic Warrior is just going to get absolutely pounded by my full Slinger unit here, 90 men. Pretty much every stone that comes in there is getting a kill because the HP on these Gallic Warriors is so low. Instead of running away immediately, I'm going to keep them in the fight just long enough to get one more volley. It will route this unit with another volley, so yeah, getting them out of the way. His general comes to flank to this side. You can see it going after the Slinger, but it does leave his Balearic isolated. My Slinger's just kiting back very easily. I have Cappadocians. I have regular cataphracts here just to kill off these small Carthaginian cav, no problem. Rear charge from the horse skirmishers. Sure, their melee stats are complete shit, but a rear charge will finish them off, and it prevents me from having to use this Cappadocian against the Slinger, and I can still keep it fresh for a charge on this noble cav. Here, this Slinger, this Complet is just getting kited out. It's very tired. He does get a nice charge on one Slinger, but the Cataphract will finish it off, this Cav. And now I'm just going to go after his General here. If I can kill the General, everything else will just route. Getting a nice charge with this Cataphract, tying it down. Again, second win would have been nice, but instead I'm going to just hit a nice charge here. Again, he's just running away. He has nowhere to go. Cappadocian going to tie down the Gen. Going to get a free charge on the Samnite here. I will second wind and battle rhythm the Cappadocian Cav just so it fights the General at its best ability. And again, this General can just hammer any units in by, and sure, why not just charge the enemy General? If I can kill him again, that's the goal. But I don't want my General to get tied down for too long. If he dies, like, there's a chance I could mass route or something, so although keeping him in here and killing the General is good, better to keep my General alive. That's the main thing, because otherwise I'm going to win this battle, no problem. You know, not much left. My Slingers are all alive. He doesn't have any Cav. There's no way to win for Ragnar. So, I win this game. Crucial to keep me alive in the series, 2-2 now. And we'll go to a decisive Game 5, winner-take-all type thing. Let's quickly go over the kills. You can see Ragnar's strategy for defeating my Cataphracts actually worked pretty well. I guess I kind of fell into his trap in going behind so much because that's where all his support was, and those hoplites were good at tying down those Cataphracts and killing them off with the support of the Carthaginian Cav. But two of my Cataphracts did really well. The General, crucially, I kept him alive, and he's the best unit, of course, so in the late game, very deadly. Cappadocian did really great. Again, just a support unit here, but tanky and alive in the late game. It's able to just eat up a lot of fire without dying, unlike the Cataphracts in melee. They can do well, whereas the Cataphracts are just good on the charge. Noble Horse Skirmisher, just did very, very well. Killed off those Numidians, so they had free reign of the battlefield. I think Ragnar thought they were Horse Archers, at least at the start, so he lost a lot of men, and when you lose too many men in the Numidians, they just can't chase around the Horse Skirmishers without losing more men. It's a bit of a cycle there. You lose more men, and you can't chase as well, and you lose more men because you can't chase as effectively. So, Horse Skirmishers, free reign, killed a lot of Balearics. A chevron each is deserved. These Slingers, let's see, decent kills, but again, they had a lot of ammo and a lot of men remaining, whereas this Balearics really didn't get that many kills, especially considering the cost. Hoplites did really well, a chevron each. They were good at killing the remnants of my Cartley, and also getting into those Cataphracts when possible, so good pick from Ragnar there. Celtic Warriors, a great pick here. Look how well they're doing, all over 100 kills. Really just messed my Hillman up, and then we're able to do really well even against the Cartly Axemen, so really good pick there. But of course, they will always die in the late game to Cataphracts and Slingers. That's just what you get. Whereas his Staminites were pretty easily countered by my Cataphract and Cartly combo. When the Cataphracts get charged into those Staminites, lowering their HP, the Axe units are very, very deadly, finishing off the lower HP units because those Axes just dodge the armor and get right to the HP of the Staminites. Slingers didn't really do well, the Minis didn't really do well. Noble Cav did surprisingly well, and he used them very well, right? You never want to take a Noble Cav directly into a Cataphract. It will just get absolutely mauled, not enough armor. But when you can use them as support units, charging into already engaged Cataphracts or getting charged on infantry, and there's not much fire on them, like Slinger Fire, they will do very well, and all Shot Cav will do very well. It's just that Cataphracts have the advantage of being able to go into the line of fire, as it were, take those direct charges, and do very well anyway, whereas the Noble Cav or less armored Chalk Cav cannot do that without getting absolutely fucked. Living Hoplites did fine, whereas my Eastern Spearmen didn't really do anything. These guys are good, obviously, with their 30 bonus versus large, and decent armor, and Hoplite, phalanx and stuff, so they're fine. But again, these Sandmites just got wasted, or, not wasted, but they ate the brunt of the Cataphract charge, and that just cost them a lot of HP. Anyway, it was a really good game, and it will lead us to a final Game 5, so stay tuned for that. Thanks for watching, everyone, and see you in the next one. Peace.